video. Please tell us what the plot of the film is about. What is this main message to the culture of Ukraine?
So, yes, the film, I made the film in 2016, so a few years ago now, but it is dealing with cultural destruction and cultural identity and how when aggressors often attack people, they also attack their culture. And so from the very beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, that was very clear as part of the Russian strategy. That I think because I was so aware of this aspect as soon as the invasion happened in February 2022, it was clear that culture was being targeted as well. And so the film, yeah, the main message of the film is that when people are attacked, that we must also look at the attacks on culture as part of that attack on them and as part of the criminal activity, the war crimes that are occurring. And so I think because of previous situations where this had happened, I think from the beginning, Ukrainian cultural heritage workers started to document and to collect evidence of Russian war crimes, cultural war crimes. And so, yeah, and so the message I think to Ukraine is that what is happening is something that has happened historically, and thankfully, I think cultural heritage workers and others have, and international law as well, has developed so that hopefully these crimes can be brought to justice at some point.
Thank you very much. The second question is, why, when we talk about genocide in Ukraine, do we also talk about the destruction of culture?
I think because because those things are linked, and it's very good that it's the Raphael Lemkin Society which is hosting this screening, because it was Raphael Lemkin who he researched and found and put forward his ideas that there is this connection between attacking people physically, attacking their bodies, and attacking their culture, because obviously the artistic and the cultural aspects of us are part of who we are as well. And so he saw that linkage, and he tried to put forward in the Genocide Convention that culture was a part of that process. that wasn't included in the Genocide Convention in the end, but nevertheless, it's been recognized, I think, since that time as something that probably should have happened. And so, thankfully, in other parts of the international law, that has been developed. So, for example, the International Criminal Court has developed aspects of looking at cultural heritage crimes. And there have been successful cases regarding that. So I think although, for example, the current arrest warrant for Putin doesn't include that, I think it's a good it's good that the idea of cultural genocide has been developed as well since 1945, and so that hopefully that can be acknowledged in the case of Ukraine.
Dear Chair, I'm very apologize. Excuse me, could you please take off your glasses, because I'm reflecting.
Oh yes,
I'm really
course.
sorry, because
It's okay.
I saw it when you. And please continue our interview. I'm sorry, but it's
Of
important
course.
because we are talking about the video.
Yes.
And my question is, why is it important for you to make a film about destruction of culture in Ukraine? Exactly in our country, not in other countries all over the world.
I think Ukrainian cultural identity and Ukrainian culture is so specific. And so I think, yeah, and so that's certainly what was noticed from the beginning of the invasion in February 2022 was the fact that the unique aspects of Ukrainian cultural heritage were being targeted by the Russians as well. And I know that included, for example, folk art museums. And so I think, yeah, it's important because Ukrainian cultural heritage is so particular and so specific. So I think it has to be acknowledged that protection of that is vital, not just for Ukraine, but for the rest of the world, which can take part in appreciating that culture.
My question is, what crimes of destruction of cultural values have you seen, and maybe you can focus on it, on these crimes?
Yes, I mean, I think I met with an excellent gentleman called Ihor Poshivailo, who works at the Maidan Museum in Kiev, a couple of years ago, and he talked about. So I became aware of the processes of Ukrainian cultural heritage workers going out to particular sites and documenting destruction of churches, destruction of, as I say, folk art museums, and so so it's good that I think even when it's cultural heritage workers going into dangerous regions or occupied regions, that I think it's been very meticulous and methodical how it's been documented, both what the destruction is and what the circumstances around that are. And so I think, in the film, for example, one of the sort of heroes in the film is a man called Andras Riedelmeier, who was born in Hungary, but he went and documented cultural crimes in Bosnia and Kosovo and those regions in the Balkans. And so I think his development of how to collect evidence, which then went to international tribunals, has certainly helped Ukrainian cultural heritage workers now in documenting as much of the destruction as possible.
Thank you very much for supporting Ukraine, for documenting such crimes that Russian aggression against Ukraine and humanity, and of course, Ukrainian culture. We are very appreciate for your time, for your film.
Of course.
And today, we have such a great events in Kiev.
Yes.
We're waiting for meeting with you later. Thank you very much. My interview finished, and we are waiting for you later in the cinema.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Elena. Thank you.
Thank you.